Oh, what's going on?
Oh, wow. What's going on? Here we go.
Let's go.
So, what would you hope to gain out of working directly with TJR? What should I put down, Wilski?
Post more brain rot videos. Teach me.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, what's going on? Wilski, what's going on?
Much, man. Just win or lose, I'm here. I just took a
Win
lot.
or lose, no viewers, 100 viewers, we don't care. We're always going to be
We're doing
streaming. But there is actually, we got one. There you go. Wicked, mate. So there you go. You had your interview out. If nobody's seen it already, then definitely go to YouTube and check out the interview that we did with Wilski.
For sure.
And we're gonna crack on with the charts. While I stick this on socials, mate, I'll hand it over to you and you do your thing. Crack on with it.
We'll go through the loss, and we'll also just go through the analysis as usual. Week so far, what have we seen? We're coming into a week where I obviously knew that there's probably less chance we'd get a trade, or if we did, may have to wait a bit longer. DXY, we've cleared previous weekly low now. We're in this area. I would probably favour a wick down into like 99, 150. If we can get that and then get a reaction, then great. At the minute, it looks like on the daily, we're creating a lower high, which also is important because yesterday we created a very weak higher low. And if we're going to go up, we should have seen today shoot up into the stratosphere, and we've just gone and cleared it all. This daily's now been filled, which is now going past it, which makes it very likely that there could be a deeper pullback. We're seeing a structural change. Keep an eye on this area and maybe not rush into taking sells on EU and GU just yet. But that's the daily. I think on the 4 hour, if we see anything that's going on, quite an impulsive 4 hour push up, which we're currently retracing in. The question is, are we going to actually clear this, or are we going to find some issues at? Well, we've got obstacles in the way, don't we?
What are we looking at
just DXY in a minute on 4 hour.
Yeah,
because this was quite an impulse that we could still come a little deeper, but we could also clear it. So we have got barriers here in the way. So if we do fail to respect these, then yeah, I reckon this is going to get taken out this week, and that would probably mean for me no more trades. Just got stopped on EU from last week, which luckily I did close out my funding rock at the end of last week, so I saved it. Good to have your funded accounts in different positions. Can get a refund in 2 days, or less than 2 days now. If we just take this off now, because that is done, we can go through from the higher time frames. Weekly's already taken out previous weekly high. I'll take it off 4 hours as well. What I'm looking at now is, are we just going to come back into this range? And if we do, where to, or are we going to go up to the highs? Because that's also a possibility. What I'd prefer to see on the weekly is a failure to come down further, maybe next week or even this week, and then we get a big bullish candle, and then I'll probably be playing buys all the way up to the high. But it's at the end of the year, we're seeing what we're seeing on the quarterly. We're seeing a potential bottom wick. Monthly time frames already swept previous month. That is a nothing candle in my eyes. Hasn't really done too much. It's not reassuring we're going to come all the way down. At the same time, we are very close to this monthly fill area. That's very close. And if we get a reaction off that, there could be a big drop. But at the minute, I don't think I'm going to get a trade. You can see the order flow is still overall bearish, but you've got to realize when we're seeing these higher points of structure, we have areas now to take out to the upside. So be careful if you are looking for sells. I think that's it on the daily on EU. GU's looking a little bit similar. What we can see monthly wise, we filled this, and this is a higher time frame area that is very key. And you can see the reaction off that has been significant. Weekly time frame dropping down. We'll zoom in and we can see already tested back at this liquidity low point twice already this week. And if we've taken out previous daily low already today and we've come up, I think we can go further up. So I do like GU to come up today, rest of the day. I think it looks better than EU. I think we've got easily previous daily high to target, but really, I think we've got up to like 1.32, 200. I think that looks good. So I'm still waiting for confirmations for a sell. I prefer a sell, like I said yesterday, all the way up in here. So I will be patient for that, because when you're selling and you're continuing the trend, if we're going to go down, always better off selling at a higher point than a lower point. The lower you get in, the less likely it is to play out in a lot of circumstances. And that's really my analysis there. Bosh.
Yeah, I think as well, if it comes up to all those daily levels and then we see a bit of consolidation, then just waiting for a bit of a change of structure, we can then probably get back short. But even what you were just showing on EU, it hasn't actually had a body close underneath that range. So we're just at the bottom of the range. We just had a wick taking everybody out, and now what, So it's kind of quite interesting. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at it from my perspective. Would I be looking at it the same way? With me, it would be like, okay, we broke these EMAs. I'd actually be thinking, we're actually going to come a little bit lower. If I take down, but then again, if I take down the fib, we've got all of these levels like you've just pointed out, and you've got a 50 EMA, and we haven't been able to close, with a body close outside of this range. So we've just hit that 50, close back in the range. So really, if we were taking it as a range trade, we're looking to actually come back up to the top of the range. That's on a weekly time frame. That's what I would be looking at. If we close really bearish underneath this level, then I think we would be looking for this EMA to get touched, and maybe that wick getting filled in. That's probably what I'll be looking at. So yesterday's trade, I'm still actually USD CAD still in. It's struggling. Well, it's just still at the same area. It's struggling just a little bit. I'll go over that very shortly. I want to just go over what happened on Euro. Let's have a look. Where is that? So Euro, Great British Pound. So we had this on yesterday, and unfortunately, I can take these off now because I also got stopped out. We had a break underneath all the EMAs, and we had a really nice push down, like intraday. Came back into this area. Demand didn't quite hit the level that I was looking at, and then from some of the news from the pound coming out today, pushed up, took me out, and that's why we've got the loss on the Funding Rock account that we've just opened. So, is there any music? What's going on with the music, man?
I can hear music, yeah.
Oh, you can hear music. So what are we looking at now? I am long. The reason why I'm long, so we've had the simple break of these highs here, and then just a retracement in, and it found support and then started to push up. So as soon as I started seeing this momentum, and the momentum came in right here, I was like, okay. The majority of people were thinking, we were going to be going short further down into a weekly level. We never did. We just came back up, and now we're building momentum. So I think we've got a little bit higher up, where probably around about 32,607 is a really nice area. And the reason being, we've got these levels here. So we've got these lows right here, which is a nice little level. It got touched again there, and also this is a 50% of this overall range that we have here. So 50% of that range is around about 32609. So that is kind of where I'm thinking that price could potentially go to. So at the moment, we're just basically getting back to break even, and the USD CAD setup, well, that's still in play, but it's on a daily time frame, so it could probably take months before this actually happens, I guess. Wilski probably knows a little bit better than me when it comes to stuff like that. because my stop is all the way under this wick. We're still in bullish territory. We've broken up these highs. We've had a retest of the EMAs. So just looking for that continuation to put it a little bit further up. And that is it. That's the outlook. But
it's one of them things with, like you see on USD CAD, the dollar's been weak this week so far. Killer.
Yeah. But things can change. Like this price action today is, it's really nice. Obviously, after the fact, you can see, look, after the fact, we had a nice consolidation. It was getting really, really tight. All the EMAs coming through, and then as soon as it broke above, then we just had that really nice impulse. And to be fair, I didn't think that was going to happen today. But it's interesting, definitely. So we're going to do quickly a segment of just a break and retest. I'm going to go through and just talk about how I like looking at break and retests. Majority of traders, that's how they get into their trades anyway. So looking for a break of a certain level. Retest is just super easy. Some people like getting into trades through momentum, through buy stops and sell stops. I don't like doing that because I feel like you're putting more risk on the trade. But we're just going to go through something like that. So the basic premise for a break and retest, using it all off levels of support and resistance. So let's say you've got your range right here. All I'm looking for is a break of a certain range and a confirmation on a specific level. So let's say you've got price that is just coming in, consolidating on a level like that, and all it's doing is just consolidating. Eventually, it's going to have to decide where the market is going to go. So all of this consolidation, all of this is just building orders at each side of the range, building orders until eventually there's too many orders, it actually finds a direction. So let's say then obviously we get a breakout on the upside because we've had, let's say, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch on a specific level. That is where I actually want to be getting in. So simply coming back onto a level or even a 50 fib, something like that. Soon as I get that confirmation, then all it is just I'm looking for the continuation trade on the lower time frames, just to then facilitate the push above. The reason why I'm looking for that is obviously we've had the break above, we've had acceptance above this range, we've then had price try and come back into the range, and then it's done that kind of W pattern. The first thing that we all really learn in trading is that W pattern or the M pattern basically is like a failed auction on either side, and that's all I'm looking for on the level when it's coming into the range. Now, if we have a look at euro dollar right now, it did the exact same thing. Obviously, we had, you can't really call that a range, but you had that kind of W pattern right here that you can see. So you can see you had 1 low, 2 low, like that. Which just, if you put an oscillator onto the chart, you would have seen this is clear divergence. So your price is trying to push down, it's failing, it's broken above, and all we're now looking for is just a level to actually get into the trade. And you can see here, it's not something that I call, but a really simple. Let me take these dividers off. That's weird. How'd you get these dividers off? Anyway, so the highs of candles as well, these wicks, really good areas to get in. So these are the extremes of the candles that price actually pivoted from. Once price actually breaks out of that particular range, you can look for pre-highs, highs pre-break or lows pre-break, and those are really good areas to get tested before continuation. So something like that you would probably mark up on your chart on, let's say, a 15-minute or an hour, whatever it is. just wait for the retest onto a 50 EMA or onto the Fibonacci, and then obviously incongruent with these levels, that gives you a good area to start getting into your trades. Since we've got like 3 people in here and everybody knows in here how to do break, retest, continuation, I won't go into any more. But there you go. Should we have a look and see what pound is doing? Okay. Do you when you're getting into your trades, how you do you break, retest, continuations, or are you just getting naked into the level? Sounds a bit weird saying
Yeah.
you know.
Trying to think about how I would trade. It's you probably not so much break and retest off the level we broke, but I would be expecting, because sometimes you might get a deeper retest. So, for example, you might break the level that you've got in mind, you've got marked up, but then it can pull back way deeper. So especially if you've got a Fibonacci marked in and you're looking for a bit of a deeper pullback, but that's what I like. I think break and retests are really good for 1-to-1s and stuff. Once you start going into 1-to-2s, unless you're really trying to catch momentum and expecting, if you're buying a higher high to be formed, if you're not and you're just expecting the high to be tested as a target and you're not sure about the continuation past that, then if you want to get a better R, you've got to get in at a lower point, probably past the actual breakout area. If that makes sense.
Interesting. I'm going to put your chart and explain.
All right. So we should keep it simple. If we are looking at breaking this level, perfect example, really, because some traders will be waiting. Okay, let's go zoom in a bit. Let's use that level. You've had tap, tap, tap. Then we broke through it. Traders might be sitting on here and waiting for an actual target to be formed. So you could look at a sell. If we were to mark in a sell somewhere around here. The good thing about this is it did form a low that was fairly decent past it. Obviously, stops, that's always a debatable question where you want to have your stops. But you could straight up set a limit off that. Or you're waiting for a confirmation. Now, if it's just setting a limit off the actual retest level, the stop loss doesn't really matter so much. More the entry. You'd be getting in there. But then when it starts to do this, and now it's breaking up through it, a trader potentially looks at the key area of price that we still haven't revisited, which you could firstly say would be this daily area, which would probably give you a entry that's way higher up past the actual breakout area. And the reason why, especially in this scenario, every trader draws that fib slightly differently, but I wouldn't use these highs. I would use this high on the daily. And if we're going to come back into premium, then in theory, a good entry would be somewhere above here.
Your thing's frozen.
For a trade. Doesn't mean you can't get a move here, and it can give you that push. But sometimes I like to wait for the deeper retracement because I know that even I get cleared, and then we could. It's one of them things that break and retest are what I kind of used to trade back in the day, and the success rate, I couldn't really ever get it to be, with the risk to reward sometimes not being that big. It affected my trading a little bit. Whereas now, but there's so many ways to trade. As long as you can perfect it, and you know when, for example, that level there I've got marked in, if you know that that's got a good percent chance of falling from that area, it's worth taking the trade.
It's quite interesting.
Waiting for a bearish confirmation count.
You've got right there. It's like a really trying to do a break and retest from that lower part of the area. It's like the probability of it actually working to the downside is probably pretty low, because obviously we're in a forex. It's just one of those assets that it's just all it does is just go from one level to the other, and it stays like that for months. But something like a level like this, like we've had this kind of breakdown, I think on a lower time frame, let's say on a 1 hour 15 minute, there could be some really nice trades taking it back short. But it needs to come back there for that to happen. But like on the lower time frames, those little levels, they can work. But again, like you said, it needs momentum. You do need a lot of momentum, or you can get caught out. So I do agree with that.
Another thing, like you say, with that line you've got marked in on GU, it's like if that's the point at which your structure's going to be bullish, and it's a good example on GU.
This one.
The lower one, where you're at now with price action, you've got that line across.
Yeah, the weekly level. This one, yeah.
The one above that.
This one, yeah.
Even if you're looking at that as a break to then play a buy, because the low form for this month was a reaction to a higher time frame area, you're probably better off sometimes going counter trend and buying it, because it might have more scope to go up than looking for that sell when it's not ready yet.
On a lower time frame.
Yeah,
I agree with that. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's coming down, man. What would you say to that?
Ever since we had that big daily drop, whatever that was, it just seems to have continued. I just think, there's not as much confidence. Are we going to test back at 100, or we already have? Okay.
Yeah, we've already come back to... Yeah, we've tested 100. We've spent 4 or 5 days. We spent about a week there. Now we've come back up. Again, we've got these lows pre-break. So you had, the low retraced a little bit and then broke down. And it's just retested those. So it doesn't look too good, to be honest. Maybe the next target on a intraday time frame for Bitcoin would be down maybe back at 100.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I've actually I've got an idea on gold actually.
Go on, I'll put it on your screen.
So I've got that. I've got a 25k fund in Rock Phase 1 that I've not traded yet. I'm just gonna add an idea just like from a few weeks ago that's it's coming closer to setting up, which is going to be a couple of split positions trying to see us come back to where the monthly started. 4 sells, which is quite risky. Just because I feel like we could come back and take out previous monthly low, and the week just started and shot up on a Monday, so it depends. I do want to see us come into this daily, and the weekly is daily. This daily, if we have an issue at this and we do start to have a failure, then if we do get down into that, I think could be worth a shot. I think the buys, they're too late if you're trading off higher time frame, but we will see.
Where's that come? So that's come back into a 50 fib, that gold area, no? If you pull your fib out from the top to the bottom,
like from here to here. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty hard place to start buying, in all fairness.
Yeah, I don't know. I think obviously I don't trade gold. I've got no probability on what this is looking like. It's just a bit of fun, should we say?
Yeah, you're gonna use that for the for the gold, for the 25k.
I think so.
Trade it off that.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna stick to the higher time frames. I'm not gonna.
I'm
gonna jump into the fire, I don't think.
We'll be swapping. I'm trying to trade higher time frame, and you're going on to lower time frame.
Never see the day.
No, it's. I think it needs to be a little bit of both. I think going from daily levels and then going just into like 1 hours, seeing kinds of little breaks and stuff on breaks of structure on 1 hours and things like that, then that gives the best momentum types of trades as well. Because sometimes I feel like if you're getting on levels on the daily, like this USD CAD trade, I could be in this for ages, man. And I feel like on prop, it takes a little bit too long to actually get funded. I know you sat in front evaluations for months. I don't know if I'm about that life, man.
What you know more about the prop industry in terms of people passing? Are traders usually passing quite quickly as a whole?
Yeah, you either got somebody that's passing or failing within 2 weeks. That's the average. That's not the average just here. Obviously, we haven't got enough data here. You can only say you've got enough data when you've had 1,000 people,
I mean,
pass it. Other firms that I've worked with, yeah, that was definitely the stats. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, somebody's either blown the account or they've passed.
and then give them 2 months after getting the funded account, and it will be gone.
Wow, less
2 more weeks.
10 days. Because normally, if they've already been funded quite a few times, it's a bit different. But if it's a newly funded, tends to be quite early that they actually get they blow the account, and that's because most of them are actually very excited to be on the account, and they're putting a little bit too much. Because think of it, you've gone all of this time trying to get funded. Eventually, you get funded, and you're so excited to now you're starting to make money, and that's when you kind of like lose your edge, I think.
That excitement of being able to make money, yeah. When it's only once people's psychology is so good in the challenges and they get funded, and then all of a sudden, this is just a switch. Whenever I got funded, I was in the mindset of making sure I dropped my risk because I was already scared of losing the account. But you don't make the payouts near as quick at all, do you? It can take you ages.
Takes a long time. If you can keep your cool and you can keep the risk quite high, you can make some pretty staggering bits of cash. I'm seeing it at the moment on Twitter as well. The amounts of traders that are taking ridiculous amounts from prop, ridiculous amounts. But it's all about risk appetite as well. Like if you're trading an account that is to your specific size, or if you're trading an account that may be a bit too big for you, there's loads of different things to it. I don't think it's
Yeah, because you're trying to scale, and if you can't deal with a 25k account, and that's too much for you, because the numbers, even for people in first world countries, having a 25k account, you're going to see some quite big numbers you might not have seen in a live account. Never mind doing 200k and then getting multiple 200ks.
Yeah.
You can't even look at the numbers, and it's really hard. You can't look at them and think anything really. It's just your trade.
Yeah, 200Ks for me is a little bit difficult. I don't know why. It's a little bit more difficult. 100Ks have always been quite easy. Don't know. It's weird. It is it's very an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing as well with like leverage. Like you up the leverage, people tend to use more money and they tend to blow up. Leverage is a killer for traders, to be honest.
That's why I recommend the traders that are funded. As much as you think it's good to risk high, if you risk 1.52%, but don't you want to be completely off the prop firm's radar in regards to becoming a red flag? Because even if you're making profit, if they see you risking too high, even if it's within the rules, a lot of the prop firms don't like that. And even still with some of the big dogs in the industry now, they're even
worse.
They're getting onto you now.
Oh, they're even worse.
It's terrible.
They have way too many traders that are exploiting prop as well. That's a bigger thing for the bigger firms. Exploiters, maybe they will come to smaller firms as well, but
risk teams as well. They implement the risk team, don't they, to identify these things.
Yeah, well, what's the risk team? The risk teams are just to make sure the people that are getting paid out are proper people and not just teams of guys that are just hedging and doing all kinds of stuff in the back end, which happens. It's an interesting world, interesting industry. But that's what happens in any kind of financial sector. You will have exploits of certain things. There's certain brokers that won't take certain traders, high frequency trading and stuff like that. I don't know many brokers that will allow bots for high frequency traders. Maybe not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the broker side. Shady traders.
And that's it. You see so many people crying on social media about, oh, this firm has blocked me, blah, blah, blah. But we don't normally get to see the full story. You see the full story from a specific trader, but you don't know what they're doing on the back end that the firm has seen that is an issue. And normally they will take it to social media as a threat to make sure they get, the payout or whatever.
When you go on Trustpilot and someone's given a 1 star, and then you look at the reply, and it's like, you did this, and this wrong. Can't really argue with it.
No, you can't. The majority of firms, I think, are totally fine. The majority of firms are totally fine. Let's see what's cracking on with BTC. I can see that we haven't had a look at what's going on with the equity markets. Hold on.
You managed to get a Fund and Rock t-shirt yet for me?
Oh, mate, I haven't even got time to it. No way. I've got them here. I've got all the t-shirts here to send them out. I haven't done it yet.
That's all right.
It'll take me definitely to the end of next week.
Oh, that's all right. As long as I get it before I start going away.
Yeah. When are you going away?
Jan 28th. Yeah, not long, man. That's all.
What have you got? But you've got booked first.
Vietnam. Yeah.
How long for?
2 months.
Yo.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. Good time to go as well, weather-wise.
Yeah, man. It's interesting. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at my investment. Oh, it looks all right. It's coming to an area of demand. Looks like yeah.
Well, that's what I want to do next year. Get a bit more into investments, use some payouts.
Yeah, I think it's best, especially since you get like the ISA, stocks and shares ISA and stuff. Max one of those out, stick it into some plays on the equities market. Yeah, definitely.
Unless that budget in a few weeks messes that all up. Wouldn't surprise me.
Why, they're not going to go through and start messing with ISAs, are they?
Wouldn't put it past them.
Damn. And also that exit tax as well. They're really going after everyone. Problematic, big time.
Terrible.
There you go. It's a very quiet session, guys. So we're probably gonna call it. It's 30 minutes. Nothing's too much going on. So there you go. This is for today's session. Let me see what's cracking in the Discord. Nothing. Some of the questions that we get in the Discord are funny.
To be fair, there's that guy he asked about 1,000 questions and just turns up with a phase 1 pass. Pretty impressive. I saw that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He was making sure he was doing everything right, wasn't he?
Yeah. Good for him, man. We gotta get him on stream. But that's it, guys. See you later. And Wilski, are you with me tomorrow? You here?
Yeah.
Wicked, mate. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, all right?
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye.
That's it, traders. So if you're ready to take your evaluation, you can go in the link in the description. You can start today. But if you're here just for the content, then make sure you like and subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out on the future. Best of luck.